and just go over the key with you, because quite frankly, there's not a whole lot to explain. Like once you have the answer, you have it. So this is the age, right? We're looking at the ages, right, in years of the presidents in the U.S. when they were inaugurated, right, when they were sworn into office. So we have the mean age is 56.45, and there's a standard deviation of 5.84 years. And the range is just the max, take away the min, and it's 25 years. Okay, so you get half a mark for each of those, because really it's just plugging in and go, right? Then I asked you to complete this frequency table. Oh, did you run out of? You may have run out of room, or did I change yours already? Where's yours? 2, 4, 6, 7. Oh yeah, I did. I added a row for you. So if it ever happens that you run out of space, just add rows. Okay, that is fine. So anyway, so you go. Hopefully you arranged your data, and then you just go scroll down. It's like, oh yeah, my lowest goes here, second highest, and then right, it's much quicker to enter it than to go by this, right? You have it in L1, use the features on your calculator to help you with that. Once you have it arranged, just go for it. And it ends up, I would say you should have all these values here. If you're off, if one of them is off, we'll take off half a mark. If you have more than one mistake, I would take off 1, right? So you gotta kind of match what I have. I give you a lot to match my answer key, right? So, and then based on that frequency table, you create your histogram, okay? So I started with the 40 and then I go up by 4. As long as the space is equal, guys, I really don't care. Do you use 3 boxes, 4 boxes at a time? I don't know, but you got to make sure it fits. So kind of run it out, count it out. Does it work if I go up by 2s? And this is what I get. And I put a zipper in there because I start at 40 and all of a sudden I go up by 4s, right? So you got to have that. You cannot use that in quadratics, but here you can, because here we're interested in the distribution of data, right? So I go up to 8 here. I have age in years. I have number of presidents, right? That would be your frequency in this case. And yeah, there's not much else to say here. So if you followed your numbers, you get 2 out of 2. Yes. Well, today we'll be okay with that. But if at all given, try to see what is this. This is number of players, number of customers, you name it. It is usually something that we can name, usually. Okay, so like the bowling one I had earlier, I could have said number of times this score occurred. And in that case, frequency, in my opinion, sounds better. All right. So Lily, I can fill you in later with that first page there. Let's go to that second page. How am I going to mark this? I'm giving you 4 marks, right? 1 mark would definitely be associated with the midpoints, right? So midpoints, I would definitely say you need to have that in order to get started, right? And then I'm just showing you, I use L1 and L2, right? So this is L1 and L2 to come up with the mean, standard deviation. And watch this here. We're considering, if you add up these numbers, you have n is equal to 520, right? That's customers. And for this is my trick, okay? You can do whatever you want, but I want L1, L3, And the reason I do that is I want to keep this just in case I made a mistake or I need to go back, then I can just change a number and rerun it. But if you went L1, L2, then cleared this and put this into L2, that's fine. Okay, that is fine. So here you have the different average spending, you have the standard deviations, and you realize, hey, they had different sample sizes, right? Different number of customers that they have collected information from, but it's still fairly comparable. So I would give you 4 marks if you have midpoints and you have all these values done correctly. Take off. Today we're going to let it go, but I would say units, right? Make sure you have units for n. What does that represent in this case? But today we're just going to, if you have 520 and 640, I'm happy, because that means that you used 2 columns to calculate your numbers, okay? It represents, what's the significance meaning of n in this chart above? It represents the sample size or the number of customers that were considered, right? So there I basically get you to come up with the units. 1 mark for that. We're good? So much fun, eh? Dealing with stats. Interpret the results in A and write a few sentences describing what it tells us. Be specific, use stats terms. So we can say that in general, customers spend more at Savers because it has a higher mean, right? We can clearly tell. In general, overall, if you were to spread the amount into each customer that came to the store, we would say yes, spend more. The amount people spend at Megastore is more consistent since the standard deviation is lower, right? So Megastore has more consistent, these customers are spending a bit more, it's a bit closer to what the average is than at Savers. It varies more. You can talk about it varies more at Savers. If you did say that, that's fine with me. If you said in general customers spend more at Savers, but it varies a bit more, or the spending amounts are inconsistent, I'm fine with that. Like you can say, you can come from either perspective. The main thing I'm looking for is, are you talking about the mean and are you talking about the standard deviation, right? And what does it tell us within the context? Okay. Next, we have graphing the frequency polygon. Graphing the frequency polygon, and this I thought it was fair to do 2-on-1 graph because they both have the same width, right? They both have the same width. So can I just give you a hint for next time if you struggled with it? I would have gone up using these, right? These would have been my determining the scale. So I just go, right, 100 to 150, 150 to 200, right? You're basically going up by 50, and then you basically just go halfway in between to put your dot down. Then it's not so hard to find where should I put this, right? So the frequency table helps you to determine your scale. And basically they should line up, right? The points, they should line up vertically like this. And there's your, you can tell that Megastore, right? It's on the lower end, and the Savers, it's on the higher end, the spending, right? It's almost like opposite effects there. So that's kind of what I was trying to do when I came up with those numbers. Okay. You should have spending in dollars, and here you should have number of customers. Okay. I'm being picky with you, so I should also, my key should also have that, right? So number of customers, spending. I just want you to be consistent, and next year you're gonna do more graphing. You're gonna do functions, different functions, and so these are the things, and you're writing a provincial exam. Did you know that? You're back on the provincial exam program. Don't fear it. I would say it's oftentimes easier than the ones we make in-house, to be honest, because we have a high standard here at Sisler. All right. Ooh, I recorded that. Never mind, province. I take that back. So this page adds up to 11. Okay, so put a number out of 11 on this page. And then the front was worth 5. And I'm just going to have this here. So 5 and 11, that's 16 total. 16 total. So